はい、じゃあ今から、モデルディベートの、ムービーを流したいと思いますので、見ていてください。これは僕が作りました。後輩からいじられるんで。
The motion of Model Debate, assuming that we can predict with 100% accuracy who will commit the crime, this house will punish potential criminals before they're criminal. Welcome to the Model Debate with K-cup2016. Firstly, I would like to welcome the Prime Minister of the K-cup2016. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Because Arata and I believe that it is the government's duty to protect its citizens and to protect the innocent, we stand firmly resolved that this motion be accepted and that we protect the innocent from potential criminals. I would like to begin by defining a few points in this motion. First, I will define this House as liberal democracies. We have no intention of defending anything like an authoritarian dictatorship. The second thing is we would like to talk about what the word crime means in this situation. By crime, we mean serious crimes, what we might call felonies as opposed to misdemeanors. We have no intention of pursuing anyone who might think about crossing the street before they actually do it. The third thing I want to define is 100%. It means 100%. Now, as a model, we would like to say that what we will do is we will treat this new crime, this potential crime, roughly the same as we would treat attempted crime. That is, we do not intend to treat someone for potential murder the same as a murderer. We intend to treat someone who is a potential murderer the same as an attempted murderer. Thus, the punishment, the penalty, would be potentially lower than for the actual crime. Now, to begin, I have 3 points. The 3 points today are going to be about the current system, the reason why we would need or why we would want this system. The second point will be about the cost of crime, or reducing the cost of crime. And the third point will be about deterrence. Let's begin with the first point, the status quo, the current system, or why we would need or want this sort of potential criminal system. The first thing that we have to recognize about policing and about the justice system in liberal democracies is that it is a reactive system. That is to say, we wait until someone does something bad, and then we act after they have done this bad thing. Right? So the crime exists, the crime happens in the status quo, these bad things happen. The second thing that happens is that we punish the criminal, but we punish the criminal after the fact. We wait until they've done the bad thing, and then we give them some sort of punishment. Now, we would like to recognize the problems in this system. The problem in this system is that the victim still exists. Right? No matter how much I punish the criminal, even if we give them the death penalty, the victim is still a victim. The second thing is that there are other people who suffer from these crimes. The families, the friends of the victim, unintended victims as well also suffer. But also, the friends and family of the criminal suffer. They're asked by the press, did you know they were going to do this? Oh, I didn't know at all. They also suffer. As a result, we would like, as the government, to be able to protect all of these people. We would like to protect the victim as well as unintended victims of crime. Which leads us to my second point. The second point is we believe that we can reduce the cost of crime. This is relatively straightforward. Right? There's no trick here. We believe that by punishing the criminal before they commit the crime, when we can predict with 100% accuracy, what we do is we reduce the cost of the crime. Again, straightforward. Number one, the first thing that we do is we help the victim. If the victim doesn't suffer, they're no longer a victim. The murder victim isn't murdered, they're not dead. The robbery victim isn't robbed, they didn't lose money, they didn't suffer the emotional trauma of the crime. But it also includes, again, what I talked about as the unintended victims. The friends, the family, the people in the area, the people around them also don't suffer. And there's no system in place in the status quo to help those people. There's no way to help those people now.
Sure. If you just want to protect the victim, what you should do is just use the technology and prevent the crime. What are the reasons to impose the heavy penalty on those who doesn't do anything bad under your part?
Because they're going to do it. That's why 100% means 100%. Right? I mean, I understand what you're saying. Hey, let's reduce. That would be perfectly great too. I think we should do both systems. In fact, that's my third point, which is reducing, or causing deterrence. Now, but also, we're also helping society, right? That's the third thing we're helping. And the fourth thing we're helping is the criminal themselves. Because living with the guilt of saying having murdered somebody, dealing with the consequences of that psychologically, is different from saying, I know I was going to do something, but someone stopped me before I did it. So we believe that we can help everyone in this situation. So, my third point is deterrence. And I return to this point. 100% is 100%. Now I want to predict something for you. We couldn't stop all crime. The government is not claiming that in this new world we would live in a perfect world where there was no crime. We acknowledge that there may be things like crimes of passion, where without planning, without thinking about it, someone reacts violently or angrily. We acknowledge that. We're not trying to catch that person. We don't think you can catch that person. However, the deterrence is built into the system first, because there's a relatively straightforward form of deterrence. For those criminals that we note, for those criminals that we know are 100% going to commit a crime, they're not going to. Because we will punish them before they do it. They will know that we know that they are going to commit that crime. But that has a carry-on effect. I am not merely going to stop that criminal. For the second criminal, the one who's watching the newspaper and sees that we have this system, and they think, I was planning on robbing a bank. But if I plan on robbing a bank, that means I'm going to have to engage in behaviors that might make the system notice me. So it's going to reduce those people who will plan their crimes carefully because we know, or they know, that the system exists. The third point about deterrence is what I'll call a time frame argument. Normally, punishment isn't as deterring as it might be because there's a gap between when you commit the crime and when you're punished. In this case, there is no gap, and zero gap means better deterrence. So we urge you to protect the innocent. We urge you to protect the families. We urge you to protect the citizens of liberal democracies. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item on the leader opposition, Hiroki Nakajo, media.
I'm sorry made to make a speech instead of Uchiyama-san. Okay, today we strongly believe that everyone of us know as long as we don't do anything, we are free from the pain. We also argue we have to protect the innocent citizens. But before they committed a crime, ladies and gentlemen, they are also the innocent citizens, ladies and gentlemen. Because the reason why we can deprive the right of the criminal is actually they undermine the right of the others, and actually they undermine the right and cause the fear for society, ladies and gentlemen. Without that kind of the reason, we should not deprive the innocent people's rights. That's a stance from the opposition side. Before moving on our argument, let me go to the rebuttal to what the previous speaker has said. First of all, they told you about we have to defend the victim, ladies and gentlemen. But, ladies and gentlemen, we strongly believe that, as my partner already told you in my point of information, if defending of the system is a problem, we are happy to preemptively prevent that kind of the action because we are that kind of a beautiful system, ladies and gentlemen. We strongly believe that that kind of the damage of the victim is not a natural reason of this debate. And moreover, ladies and gentlemen, they told you that we treat that kind of potential crime same as attempted crime, ladies and gentlemen. But we strongly believe that it's contradiction, ladies and gentlemen. We strongly believe that the potential attempted crime, people who commit attempted crime, have a possibility to stop that kind of action, ladies and gentlemen. But people who potential crime today's debate is completely committed a crime, ladies and gentlemen. They are perfectly black, ladies and gentlemen. We have to treat that kind of people at the same gravity of the punishment, ladies and gentlemen. It's completely unfair. One side, they may stop a crime, but one side, they are completely black. Yeah, that's same level. It's unfair, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, you have to explain why we can treat that kind of two actors as the same gravity of the punishment, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason why their stance is break. Okay, second of all, they told you about the deterrence power is an increase. Yeah, we are happy to increase the gravity of the punishment itself, ladies and gentlemen. The deterrence point is not unique in this debate in the first place. Okay, let me move on our argument. First of all, why this system is against the principle of the CJS. We strongly believe, ladies and gentlemen, as I already told you, innocent people should be free from the pain, and only the case we deprive the right is the case of the undermine someone's right or give the fear for society, ladies and gentlemen. But today's case, ladies and gentlemen, they are innocent citizens. If I commit the crime next Sunday, ladies and gentlemen, by the next Sunday, I'm an innocent citizen. I have a right to play outside and I have a right to work, ladies and gentlemen. But under their model, I am captured in this place, ladies and gentlemen. I deprive the right as an innocent citizen for the 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. And moreover, even the I have a possibility to commit a crime at the 80 years old time. I'm captured, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of their model itself deprives the right of the innocent citizen, their stance, ladies and gentlemen. Their model itself against their stance in the first place, ladies and gentlemen. And moreover, we only evaluate the consequences, no thank you, consequences will happen or not, ladies and gentlemen. It means that we only know, the consequences will happen or not. It means that they didn't evaluate. I have the malicious intention to kill the Molden-san, and I may kill the Molden-san, ladies and gentlemen, by the slipping and so on, ladies and gentlemen. As long as we can't evaluate that kind of a factor, we should not evaluate, blanketly evaluate, I'm attempted, criminal, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the reason why their system itself is very vague. And moreover, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, it's very harmful for the rehabilitation for the criminal, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the example of the juvenile crime, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen. If people some boy commit a juvenile crime, attemptedly arrested, but that kind of a boy can't understand why I'm arrested, and so on. But status quo, Mr. Speaker, that kind of a boy can hear the voice of the victim and criticism from the society if they commit a crime. And they completely regret because of the criticism from the society and because of the hearing the voice of the victim. That's one of the important factors of the rehabilitation, ladies and gentlemen. But under their model, that kind of boy cannot understand anything, why I'm captured, and so on. And they release from the prison and commit a crime, and release from the prison and commit a crime, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of a boy will be also the victim of this system, ladies and gentlemen. We strongly believe the role of the government is to defend also that kind of criminal. That kind of rehabilitation of the criminal is also the important role of the government. Under that model, that kind of the role of the rehabilitation is undermined. That's the reason why that's completely against the role of the criminal justice system itself. That's the first argument from our side of the house. If you have any question, I will take.
Okay. We say innocent is not innocent in the future with the 100% accuracy prediction system.
They are not innocent in the future, but they are innocent for the 10 years or 20 years or the 1 week, ladies and gentlemen. Why we have a right to deprive that kind of people's innocent time? Please explain in next speech. Okay, let me move on. Quickly move on the second point. Discussion to change the social structure will be undermined. The reason why we recognize the existence of the needs of the society is one of the big factors is because of the existence of the crime. For example, let's look at the issue of the discussion of the euthanasia. The reason why we recognize the importance of the right to die is the existence of the crime to commit a suicide or sometimes son kill their mother and so on. Because of that kind of cruel crime, ladies and gentlemen, we recognize many people seek the right to die, and we have a movement to change the structure itself, ladies and gentlemen. But under their model, we preemptively arrest that kind of the people. We don't have any time to recognize that kind of social problem, and we can't change the social structure itself. Society will never fit us itself, ladies and gentlemen. It's completely problematic, and people's needs, government cannot catch up the needs of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, as a leader of the opposition, I provided two arguments. First of all, it's completely against the principle of the criminal justice system. We should not punish the innocent people. And second of all, the discussion will be distorted, and that kind of society will never suit for the people's needs. For all those reasons, we are very proud to oppose.
Thank you very much. Next, I call upon the member of the government. Please continue to speak with any changes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, member of this House. Before explaining our argument, I just want to say the one thing, that I'm not really 100% sure about this model debate, because I'm not really qualified, because after 10 years later, I'm now standing here. And then what I want to say is that I'm really 100% accuracy present here, that in this sorry. I'm really sure that this audience has a possibility to be greater debater with 100% accuracy presidency. Therefore, I just want to say, sorry, I'm so nervous. So let's discuss debate. Today's opposition side said that we should use current criminal justice system. But please understand that the definition that assuming that we have 100% accuracy prediction system, in this society, we are not able to use current criminal justice system. This 100% accuracy prediction system is actually trial, and this is the actual court decision. Therefore, we can say that that person is not innocent anymore. The innocent people is actual criminal in the future. Therefore, we can catch that person. No, thank you. So, quickly, I'm just going to rebut what today's opposition side said. First, opposition side said that yes, that person may have committed crime in the future, but 10 years later or 20 years later. But current status quo is not a criminal. But we are really sure, 100% sure that they are going to commit crime. The question is here that whether we're going to catch that person under the status quo or we're going to catch the person after they're going to commit a crime. And today's opposition side say, they just talk about criminals their case. And we say, if we consider about this system, what we have to consider at the first place, it's not the criminal. We have to consider about society future security. And we have to consider about the victims. When we consider that which is more important, that security of the society or the criminal's rights, that just think about it. Maybe your future, your friends and your parents are going to be killed, and you'll be 100% sure. But you are not able to catch a crime with this system. But if we propose this 100% accuracy prediction system, you can actually save your parents and save your families, and then also we can catch the criminals. Therefore, what kind of society we are going to choose is that we say our society is much better. Yes, please.
If you think potential action will be only criterion to impose punishment, do you really impose in prison 5-year-old child just because he will commit murder when he is 80 years old?
Okay, that kind of argument is not the direct opposition of this argument. Because if the 5 years is not really appropriate, we can just wait for that he or she going to be over 70 or so on, and then we can catch that person before they going to commit the crime. So that argument is not the direct opposition against today's motion. And secondly, today's opposition side said that our crime is not really proportional. No, thank you. Because they said that we have saying that attempted crime, we're going to use this crime as attempted crime. But please think about current situation. Current situation is actually contradicted. For example, we have 3 cases. One case is that the criminal actually can commit the crime, for example, murdering case, actually kill the person, and then we couldn't stop it. Second case, actually the person are going to kill the victim, but actually police can stop it. A third case is that person actually planning to kill someone. In the current situation, if we're going to take the second case and the first case, if the police can luckily find that the person, that person punishment is less than the actual committing the crime. But this definition is totally vague. Why is that? Because if police can be there, that punishment is going to be lighter. But if the police couldn't find it, and actually the person commit the crime, that person is going to be maybe death penalty or life imprisonment. And current system of the criminal justice system is really, really vague and really gray zone. But with our 100% accuracy prison system, that what we can say is that we have concrete, universal rules. Our system is going to say that person is going to commit the crime, and we're going to give the 100% of the attempted crime proportional to the punishment. Therefore, our society is much less contradiction against status quo. And third argument is from the opposition side said that they say that if we don't have the actual committed crime case, we are not able to study what's going to happen in the society, and we don't know what actually is happening. Is it really so? If we don't have the actual committing crime, we don't know anything about crime? Not at all. In all the research institution or university, all the time they're studying about the crime and the tendency of things. And so we don't need actual crime. The thing is, most important thing in this debate is not about the criminal. It's not about the innocent people. It's about the victims. And it's about what kind of future you would like to choose. You would like to choose that the society that you may have the possibility to see that your friends going to kill and die, or you're going to see that the future that you're going to protect the friends and the friends you can survive and enjoy a happy life. And moreover, if we're going to think about that today's system about the rehabilitation, we say it's much better rehabilitation because today's system is actually committed crime and then they're going to delete the things. But beforehand, they can think about it. Why I'm going to the killing or committing the crime. And they can deeply think about it, what's the benefit or characteristic of themselves. Therefore, we say our society is much better and we can save more people. Therefore, we would like to propose today's motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item for upon the member of the opposition, please continue speech within 10 minutes. Here.
So I'm going to do three things in my speech, and rebuttal will be integrated in my argumentations. First, what kind of barometer we should use to punish the individuals, because we believe that this debate is not about whether or not crime going to make the victim sad, but rather this debate is actually about a criminal justice system. Just framing and saying, oh, victim is bad, victim is sad, that is just illogical. Second, I'd like to talk about what kind of rehabilitation we can ensure under the both paradigm. And thirdly, if I have enough time, I'd like to talk about what kind of social discourse toward the crime we can expect under the both paradigm. Rebuttal will be integrated in my argumentation. So first, about the criteria of the criminal justice system. So the opposition, my partner simply told us that the thing is that we say the criminal justice system should be based on the conduct of the individual and also the consequence. Why is that so? Because on the first level we believe that the punish is actually invasion of the human right of the individual, right? For example, if you impose the life imprisonment or imprisonment, it's actually depriving individual of their own right to move or right to do whatever they want to do, and etc., etc. And also, if you impose the death penalty, it's also simply the invasion toward the right to live. And that is actually why the government should be very careful to when they exercise the right to punish the individual. Then the reason why we can impose the punishment on the individual is simply, first, they actually harm others, and meaning that depriving other people's right, and that is exactly why they're worthwhile to be punished. And second, simply there's a consequence and conduct, right? And that is actually why we say that is the only way to protect the principle the innocent until the proven guilty. We say that is the case. Then why the government side case, not now, is out of this criteria? Simply, number one, as I already told you, there's no harm toward the individual. Somebody will be imposed the death penalty just because they will commit a serious murder in the 50 years future, or somebody will be arrested, imposed life imprisonment or heavier imprisonment just because they're recognized as committing the serious murder, etc., or serious accident, etc. The left life will be actually erased, and also their other right to enjoy any other things will be directly neglected by the state just because in the future, in the point of the future, they will commit some crime. Then now the government side told us, okay, if that's the case, we're gonna wait. We're gonna happy to let the 5-year-old child who is a potential criminal in the 8 years and they let them to enjoy the 70 years life plan, right? So that answer already considered our case. Why is that so? Because their criteria is that only the possibility or potentiality to commit the crime. But on the other hand, they are saying the criminal's right, potential criminal's right to enjoy their own life is so important. That is actually what we say, that the conduct and the consequence is the only barometer we say that is so abhorrent. And but secondly, we say that the government side criteria about the criminal justice. Okay. The government side criteria of the criminal justice system is that first, because they protect the victims. Okay. Even if the conduct or consequence is not the criteria of the criminal justice system, which is the best case scenario coming from the opposition side, if that's the case, if you just want to protect the victim, let's use technology and prevent the crimes, right? Because you know the place, you know the human, you know the offender, and you know the victim. But secondly, they say, okay, because anyway, we are happy to punish because he is a potential criminal. But the thing is that if that is your criterion, then why should differentiate that? Why you don't differentiate the attempted crime from the potential crime? Because the attitude of the attempted crime is that they decided to kill somebody, but they themselves stopped by themselves, right? Meaning that the attitude or intention, gravity of the intention themselves is so different. That is actually why imposing the same penalty is so unfair based on your criteria. Before moving into my second argument, defend yourself now.
Thank you. So you don't want to save your friends in the future with our system?
What? Oh, okay, sorry. If you have any, what was your PY? I
So you don't want to save your future. You don't want to save your friend if the friend's gonna be killed in the future.
Okay, again, this debate is not about whether or not we can decrease the victim, the number of the victim, etc. But this debate is about the criminal justice system. And also we say, there's also our alternative to protect your friends even under our program. Okay, so moving on to my second argument about the rehabilitation. Simply we say the government side program is so detrimental on the rehabilitation. Two levels of analysis. Number one, simply individual will not be convinced about that state's action because they themselves doesn't know that they're going to be the criminal, right? They have no the things to do with the crime, but they will be arrested just because they will recognize that commit murder or commit crime in 30 years future, etc. That kind of the self-accusation is actually detrimental because any kind of rehabilitation program cannot convince those people. We say government side program will increase much more the potential crime in the future. But second, we say we also consider the fact that the consequence is also giving the benefit to let the individual to learn. For example, the boy and girl violated their own friends, and they see that how his or her mother or father got mad, and also how their friends is getting so sad, and also the process of sending a letter to showing that what kind of the reflection they have. That kind of process is so important to actually rehabilitate individual. We say our opposition side part is much better to stop the second crime, to rehabilitate individual. But very quickly, what kind of social discourse we can expect under the both parties? So shallow argument coming from the government side about the deterrence is that okay, under the government side part, everybody will stop about committing the crime or committing the bad things, and also based on the consequence we can prevent any bad things. We say that is so bad. Why? Because as my Bruno later, there's a very clear things, a big crime. For example, abortion, patricide, or for example, gay sex, or for example, euthanasia. These kind of things will be actually recognized as a crime in some states because we still have the top-down barometer. We say that kind of things will be automatically prevented in the government side program, meaning that we cannot see any benefit and harm from the consequence. Therefore, that nobody will cast down on the criminal barometer in the society. We say that is so abhorrent. So protect the victim, not only protect the victim as a criminal to actually stabilize society. We're happy to oppose. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, I am from the K-cup2016. Here.
ladies and gentlemen, please imagine the police come and say to you, you commit a crime, you commit a murder tomorrow, so we arrest you. It's maybe it's happening. It's maybe you now don't have any malicious intention, but police capture you, ladies and gentlemen. You deprive the right to exercise your right by the tomorrow, and maybe by the 1 year after or 2 years after, ladies and gentlemen. The person government try to capture, try to arrest, is not a criminal, but an innocent person, ladies and gentlemen. Our stance is consist, government and opposition. We are defend the innocent citizen, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the reason why we are standing the side as opposition. Today we have a criteria to legitimacy to punish the innocent citizen, and the second of all is social security. First of all, basically, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why coming from the government, we punish that kind of innocent citizen is that they are potential criminal. They commit a crime in the future, ladies and gentlemen. It means that they say we can have to treat that kind of potential criminal as the criminal, ladies and gentlemen. But on the other side, ladies and gentlemen, they say that we wait the 5-year-old child becomes an 80 years old grandma or grandpa, ladies and gentlemen. It means that they already conceive from the 5-year-old and 80-year-old, that kind of a person is innocent, ladies and gentlemen. As long as that time is 1 day or 1 year, we strongly believe that as long as they are innocent, we should not punish that kind or innocent citizen, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, government side kindly concede that kind of our basic principle, ladies and gentlemen. Their principle itself is already broken. On the other side, we strongly believe that the Shimon beautifully told you, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why our right is defended is we have a right to exercise our autonomy and right. Without the situation, we undermine the other's right and we give the fear to the society. Our right is a fear. Today's case is completely upright, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of people didn't do anything, ladies and gentlemen. It's completely same as an innocent citizen. We don't have any legitimacy to impose a severe punishment for that kind of people. And moreover, as we already told you, we can't evaluate the malicious intention and blanketly punish that kind of the people. Same level of the punishment. We strongly believe that that is very important point that never engage. And moreover, the point of the rehabilitation, because we see the situation of the victim, we say the criticism from the society. We firstly regret how serious crime I commit and rehabilitated, ladies and gentlemen. That kind of process is a skipped under their model. So working or rehabilitation is not done. So in the principal level, we are superior. Second of all, about the social security, they told you about, they only said, yeah, we have to save the victim, ladies and gentlemen. But as we already consistently told you, there are so many ways to defend your family or your lover and so on, ladies and gentlemen. So basically this debate is not about we have to save the victim or not, ladies and gentlemen. There are so many alternative ways. And moreover, on the contrary, also I told you, we can change the structure because of the existence of the discussion. We can mitigate the number of the people who are suffering from the gap with the structure of the society, ladies and gentlemen, because of the existence of the few number of the serious crime, ladies and gentlemen. We can fix the structure about the abortion. We can fix the structure of the euthanasia, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the reason why, to the perspective of defend the social security, opposition is superior. For those reasons, we are very proud to oppose.
Thank you very much. Finally, I will wrap up the first speaker of the event. Thank you.
In a sense, I think this motion was perfect because I feel like a mind reader. I told you two interesting things during the PM speech. The first thing I said was 100% is 100%. It's not potential, it's not maybe, it's 100%. Absolutely ignored right from the beginning. They never touch that. They keep saying, oh, it's potential, oh, it's potential. It's not! It was in the definitions, that's why I put it there. The second thing I said was at the very end of my speech, I said, I'm going to predict something. There was a key point in me saying, I'm going to predict something, which is I knew what they were going to say. And what I said to you was, I'm going to predict something. I'm going to tell you we can't stop all crime. Right? Some crimes are still going to happen. And that's important because it means that we're still going to get the social discussion, and we're still going to get all of the positive benefits that they think is going to happen. We're going to still see some victims so we can feel bad for them, so we can get some sort of retribution, or some sort of rehabilitation. Now, the critical issues in this debate. Number one, 100% is 100%. That's the system, right? That's part of the motion. We didn't create this system, we just said, if it exists, we should use it. So that actually is the debate. Right? When they say, oh, that's not what we're talking about. No, that's exactly what we're talking about. It says, assuming it exists. So we both have to assume it exists. The second thing they say is that potential criminals are not criminals. And what we said is, what Arata told you very eloquently, was, no, in the new world, in this new world, if we have this system, they're no longer potential criminals. It's 100%. Now, the next thing they say is that it's not fair because they didn't actually do anything bad. Well, two things. The first thing is apparently they don't understand the criminal justice system because planning to commit a crime is still a crime even if you haven't done it. That's why I brought up attempted murder or planning murder in the first Prime Minister's speech. I feel like a mind reader. The second thing I would like to say is it is fair because the system exists. If we assume that the system exists and it is 100% accurate, we should use it. That's the question. The question is, why should we use it? And I'm going to get to the point where they talk about social discourse and they're going to talk about rehabilitation. And this, I think, makes my point very clearly. The argument for the opposition side is we should allow people to kill so that they'll feel bad about killing. Then they can be a better person. That's a terrible model. That's an awful model. You should stop them from doing the bad thing before they do it. That's the reason we have education. That's why you're at a university right now, is so that we can teach you about things that you shouldn't do. And we might say to you, you're probably going to do this. You should feel a little bad about it, but it'll be better for you if you don't actually do it. 100% is 100%. The next thing they talk about is, oh gosh, well, we're not going to have these social discussions. I'm going to say two things. Okay, one, they don't apparently understand the criminal justice system. But 100% is 100%. And we're having a debate, and Arata told you this, we're having a debate right now about something that did not happen. We're having a discussion right now in this room about a system which does not exist. We are capable, human beings are capable of having moral discussions, of having discussions about what we should or should not do without actually having to do them. I don't have to stab somebody in the heart to know I shouldn't do it. Right? The third thing is, again, my premonition, I told you at the beginning, we're not going to stop every crime. It's not a perfect system. There will still be crimes. So if we need crime to have this discussion, it will still exist after plan. So the question is, right, I think LOR started with this question. How would you feel if we came to arrest you because you're going to commit a crime tomorrow? Well, how would you feel if I came to you and said, I know your family's going to die tomorrow, but I'm not going to do anything about it? Thank you.
That's all.